Hola, con mucho gusto de platicarles que estamos con Matúš Vallo. Él es alcalde de Bratislava en Eslovaquia. Lo conocí en un programa en el que estuvimos juntos, organizado por la Fundación Bloomberg y la Universidad de Harvard. Y me da mucho gusto platicar con él porque tenemos algunas coincidencias. Él también fue electo por primera vez en el año 2018. Él es arquitecto y por lo tanto tiene mucho interés en los temas de la transformación urbana y cómo la infraestructura en la ciudad provoca nuevos comportamientos que nos hacen una mejor comunidad. Entonces nos pasamos a nuestra conversación en inglés con Matúš. Matúš, thank you very much. I am very interested in learning from you and from what you are doing in Bratislava. I like to think of San Pedro, the municipality I govern that is within Monterrey metropolitan area, as a city that is always learning, that is asking other mayors in other places of the world how you are dealing with similar challenges. In this case, I am very interested in hearing from you, being an architect yourself and being interested in the positive transformation of the city infrastructure to have a better community, to have a more sustainable environment. So thank you very much for the interview, Matúš.
No, Miguel, I'm so happy we are doing it. And of course, hello to all of the citizens of San Pedro. It's a long distance, from Bratislava. So it's good that we have Zoom and we can talk. I mean, I like your concept of city which is learning, because this is very important also for me, for Bratislava. We are a small size city, 600,000 inhabitants. It's a capital city of Slovakia, which is one of the state of European Union, and we are paying with euro, and we are part of EU. But learning is the main thing as well as for me. And you mentioned it before in Spanish. The things we did together, the curriculum with the Bloomberg and Harvard was just fantastic. Have to learn and also have to know other mayors all around the world. And learn even more.
Yeah, Matúš, we both face the challenge when it comes to mobility, to transportation. In San Pedro, we have a very unique condition, one of which I'm not proud about, that we have 1.2 cars per citizen. No, not per citizen, per habitant. So that means that the baby of 3 months already has one car and a fifth of another one. We are so car dependent, and this is changing, but it is a big challenge. So I would like to ask you if you are doing something that has been working to get people that usually moves by car, using more active ways of transportation, using either public transportation or walking or bicycle. What have you done, and is there something working there with you?
I mean, this is the most important question. Have to get rid of the cars and have to change the narrative of this thing. I need to say Bratislava is a medieval city with old city center, and we are used to walk a lot. We have everywhere sideways pavement. So it's a city which should be very walkable. But our problem is that in the last 20 years, the number of cars has doubled. And so, of course, our aim, the same as yours, is to reduce it. And I need to say, I was very ready to work on it when I became mayor, but was just 1 year and a few months before COVID strikes. And COVID completely changed the rules or the ways how we are dealing with the things for now. And I hope it's going to be end one day. But my main proposition, and when I was running for mayor and I don't have better solution, this is, I think the best solution is to try to build a very good infrastructure for bicycling. That's for sure. That's something which you cannot have people on bike if you don't have a good infrastructure. And it's quite difficult to do it here because, as I say, the city is on the hard part of the city is on this hilly countryside. And it's difficult also to manage to build these new segregated bike roads, but we are working on it. But the main thing was to try to push people from cars to public transport. We have the base of our public transport is very good. We have a lot of trams, which is very, very popular in Bratislava. We have buses, we have trolleybus, which are used mainly in the hilly side of Bratislava. And we were ready for it. There are few rules which always work if you want to push the people back in the public transport, and if you want to use public transport if you want people to use public transport on a regular basis, people will do only if conditions are cleaner, safer, and quicker. So if the public transport is cleaner, safer, and quicker, and we were working on it a lot, we were able to have more trams going, more bus lines, cameras in every public transport, new clean lines where we're cleaning but COVID completely stopped everything. Yeah. And this is about the future, of course, but we were losing a lot of money, a lot of people inside the public transport. So we have in the peak of the second wave of COVID, we have only 30 or 20% of people in the public transport. But this is only the way. I don't know other way how to do that, and we are working again on it. We are pushing a lot, working on the infrastructure to be able. Every bus stop or tram stop has the roof and all this stuff, and I'm sure people like it because we are doing something which is not very popular, which is regulation of parking. So we are doing a new public parking policy. So and we are starting with the first zones, but in the end, when the majority of zones will be covered by it, you will need to pay for the parking, which now in Bratislava, you can still park for free in some places. So the combination of this, not free parking policy, public transport, cleaner, safer, and quicker, I still believe after 3 years in position of mayor, that will bring us more people in public transport and less people in cars.
Thank you, Matúš. It sounds like a very sound program. I mean, it's simple, it's clear, it's cleaner, safer, faster. So I'm sure that the policy, once we overcome COVID, it will work. And also what you said about the parking lots. We are just days from publishing a new rule for constructing buildings in the city, and we almost eliminated the condition to have parking lots to build a building, because and right now there is a condition of constructing a very big number of parking lots to build a building, and you are just promoting that people use the car more. So we are changing that. So I think we are moving in the same line.
Miguel, you can do it on the city level. You can, because if you want to change it from minimum to maximum public parking spots, like they have in other parts of Europe, we need to change the national rule. We go to national parliament.
No, here we can do it at a city level, but there was a reform at the national level like 3 years ago that opened this space for cities to make it. So, but it is very interesting that you have to do it at a national level. Yeah, but I think this is a tendency in which all cities or most of the cities are moving in the same direction, which I think is something positive, and it gets me to the next topic that is very connected, that is the conditions of the environment. I mean, a city has quality of life if you are in a clean environment. In the case of San Pedro, we have a big challenge of the quality of the air. San Pedro is a city within mountains, and this concentrates the pollution of the air. And we are trying to make some things with my colleagues, mayors of other neighbor municipalities. But I wanted to ask you, which are the environmental challenges of Bratislava, and how are you facing them?
I mean, we are not so far away from San Pedro. Our main environmental issue, of course, climate crisis, overheating, but it's also air pollution, CO2 emissions.
Okay.
That's the serious problem, and it's of course connected to the cars, you know. And also what we are facing, another problem is that it looks like we are moving to another climate environment. So what is happening, that we have a very lot of rain in very few minutes, you know, just not like raining in normal way 2 hours, but in 10 minutes falling a lot of rain. And what's happening, that our sewage system is not working so well. It's like tropical climate, you know. That's very, very kind of strange, and it's like third summer in a row which these things are happening. But what we're doing, we are taking we're currently taking various steps to develop our green agenda. We started plenty of new projects, and we planning to continue to elaborate them in the future. Okay. So we have this project called 10,000 trees. It's not like New York's million trees. We have 10,000 trees. So we are planting 10,000 trees. But what is important, we're doing it with our citizens, many companies, private sector is helping, and the main thing is, I mean, it's easy to plant the tree. More difficult is to see this tree after 4 years that is growing, you know. There's so many trees, they not survive first or second year. So we are really kind of, we say, let's go slower, let's do 10,000, but the real 10,000. So we are putting into this a lot of energy, and it's important. And of course, it's always good. You have more shadow, you have the water reservoirs
absorbing. And in this new consciousness about global warming, how willing citizens from Bratislava are to change personal habits, personal way of doing things, trying to have a more conscious behavior to what we all have to do to avoid global warming. What have you found? How are the conversations between government and citizens, and between citizens in this new global challenge?
You remember the joke they show us when we were in New York doing Bloomberg Harvard, that like, who wants to change? The who wants change? Everybody who wants to change.
That's a good drawing. Yeah,
that's the legendary one.
Yeah,
and of course, but I need to say we have a fantastic citizens. I'm very glad I'm spending a lot of energy and time to be in dialogue with them, and COVID kind of stop it, but I used to have meetings online, and it's a different story, but we try to keep the connection, and it's very important for us. And I think at least my generation of people are understanding it. Even young generation, they are completely with this new agenda of climate crisis and climate change, are even more conscious about this problem we have. So, I mean, it's very difficult to say to somebody that if he want to have a 3 car, he needs to pay 500 euros per third car if he want to park it in the city per year. Or it's difficult to say somebody that he needs to have four spaces for 4 different type of garbage, you know, paper, plastic, bio, and kitchen bio. Now, what we are starting to do from next year, we will have 2 kind of bio garbage, you know, bio garbage, sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Kitchen and normal bio, there's 2 and plastic and paper. So, and this is for everybody more things to think about and everything, but I think people are ready for that. I believe our citizens are ready for that. And it's difficult. The discussion about the cars, it's very difficult, of course. That's the tough one. But I think we are trying to learn our citizens. We are trying to understand what is the main, maybe sometimes there is some kind of fear about the new stuff, you know. It's much, much better with younger generation. They understand it. Like
I also find here in San Pedro, people from 40s and under 40s much more willing to change the way of life in the city, which I mean, it is a motive for hope, because they are the ones that have to live in a more sustainable city, and the ones that will be crucial for solving this crisis. So I find a very close similarity in this. I would like to finish our conversation, Matúš, with my favorite question, which is,
let's say I would go to Bratislava, or any other person from Mexico would go now and want to know your recommendation of that place or that happening that maybe it's not in the tourism guides, it's not in Let's Go Europe, but it's something that you have to do in Bratislava to really enjoy the place. What would be your recommendation, Matúš?
I mean, it's very simple. It's not in tourist guide, I think, but it's something we really like. Actually, it's 11 bus stops, trams, the trolleybus stops from our presidential palace, which is in very center of Bratislava. There is starting a hilly countryside with 95 kilometers long, beautiful woods.
Wow.
Beautiful stuff. We are in very close contact with the beautiful, it's Small Carpathian, the name.
Wow.
And what I recommend you, just go there, find any picnic spot with fireplace and have a nice, it's not grilling, it's you have a stick and you, it's not, how you call it, and have a little bit of grill there, or grill, that's what I like to do. That's many people from Bratislava doing. That's many people from the world doing.
Yeah.
But that's something very, very not unique, but it's very typical for inhabitants of Bratislava. Using this nature, be there. It's just few stops with bus, and after you can walk for days or 1 week, or you can walk 1 hour, and you are in the woods, beautiful woods. So this is something you don't find in a touristic guide, but it's beautiful, and you will find our citizen there.
I am really looking forward to that, Matúš, and I really want to go there, and you are also very welcome to come to San Pedro, to Monterrey metropolitan area. Many things to do here also. Great to have this conversation with you, Matúš. It's great to see you again.
Absolutely, big pleasure for me, and it's very nice to see you again. And I'm saying all the best things and good greetings from Bratislava to San Pedro. I mean, it's fantastic, this connection.
Same. Good to see you, Matúš.
Good to see you.
Bueno, pues tuvimos una conversación muy padre con Matúš Vallo, alcalde de Bratislava en Eslovaquia, y aprendimos muchas cosas. La verdad que da gusto darnos cuenta que son retos similares, en algunos de ellos con diferentes niveles de avance, con diferente nivel de infraestructura ya construido, pero estamos en los mismos retos y por lo tanto frente a la oportunidad de aprender lo que están haciendo otros alcaldes del mundo. Por aquí nos vemos en el siguiente segmento de Alcaldes de